So, welcome everybody. My name's Jody Potiker. I know maybe half of you, so it's always a pleasure to have so many people I don't know coming on. I did send the word out to every meetup group that I had access to and as much on Facebook as I could to get women from other areas. So I'm hoping there's women from Washington, Portland, Phoenix, Northern California, different places so we can meet one another and kind of, uh, you know, gather the troops together so we can join forces. My name's Jody Potiker. I organize the So Many Women, So Little Time meetup group. We are based in Orange County. Happy to say we have 5,500 members and I've been organizing since 2012. It has really been my passion for a long time. And somehow I just keep on plugging away. And the thing that fuels me is just the satisfaction of knowing that offering ways for women to get together and meet one another and support one another. When I find out that it makes a difference, it feeds me. And so I keep on going, and I love it so much. I also have founded a travel group called Lesbian Getaways. And Sue's just going to put the links in there just in case you don't know about them. We're going to put the links in there just in case you want to know about them. Lesbian Getaways, 2 trips this year. Costa Rica sold out, and our Greece trip has one more spot in it. It's happening in September. So if you're at all interested, please take a look. Um, Sue is my best friend. And um, we got together and we've been yakking about everything that's going on so much. And it just came up one day, let's do something about it. We've started a company together 25 years ago. We work so well together. And so we just decided to do this. So I want to introduce Sue. And Sue, why don't you introduce yourself and say whatever it is you'd like people to know about you?
Hi, everyone. I'm just so glad to see so many people here. This conversation between Jody and I started a few weeks ago for myself, and I'd love to hear from all of you at some point, seeing what's going on in our country and just keeping the momentum going, like that we're keeping the momentum going and we're supporting each other so that we just don't feel alone and isolated. So that's where this all came from, was just trying to create a community that we can come together however we choose to come together and just keep this going, because this is going to be a long process, right? This is going to be the next 4 years, and so how can we keep our energy strong? So that's the conversations that Jody and I have been having. So I'm just thrilled to see all these people I'm admitting into the room right now.
Sue's humble. She's a brilliant business person. She's an amazing, smart, fun person, and it's such a pleasure to have the chance to do something with her. We have some interesting things kind of planned for tonight, but what I really want you to know is that what's very important to us is that this is a co-creation. Okay, we're just creating the space right now to bring us together, the opportunity to come together. We have some ideas, but I know you all have lots of ideas too. And so we want to together kind of come up with the best of all of our thoughts, feelings, and ideas and make a plan forward. So what I've done is I've actually created a few polls for you so that we can take the temperature in the room and we can all learn a little bit about like the feeling, the shape of this group that's here right now. There's 48 of us, two more. Come on, let's have 50. So so we can get a little bit of a sense of who we are and what we care about. And then I also created a new type of exercise, and I'm going to try it out on you all, and I think you're really going to like it. I hope. I've never heard of it before, and I'm really excited about it. Um, and then, so after we do my new surprise exercise, then we'll do a poll, then we'll show the poll results. Then I'm going to play a song for you to give us a chance to kind of just drop in and really tune into ourselves and our feelings and where we're at right now. Um, Then we're going to have a chance to share. I'm really interested in coping strategies. Like, what are you doing that's working that you could share with us? Because it's a little nuts, you know. I think, oh, somebody's got their.
I got it.
So, Sue, if you look at the
Yeah,
participant list and
yeah,
just go
I
down
got
and
it.
mute, mute, mute. Okay. Um, I think uh, I think some of us are probably doing better right now than others of us. I'm just kind of guessing because out of all the people I've spoken to, it seems like there's a big range from people that are just so angry, kind of messed up, to people that have found ways to just keep going. And I really want us to learn from each other, um, and find out what's working. Okay. And if maybe it'll involve teaching each other how to do whatever it is we're doing. I don't know, but that's what's going to unfold over time. This is what I'm excited about. And then we want to talk about actions we can take if we want to, and to find out what level of action people are interested in. That's actually one of the poll questions. I'm thinking we're going to range from just coming tonight only, maybe once a month online meeting, to really getting involved in doing stuff. So we want to find out where are people at and what's going to make us feel good as far as what can we do? Because I don't know, I feel like I have to do something. I just am not sure what I want to do. And so I have a couple suggestions, and then we'll give suggestions. We'll share with each other. And then we'll talk about how to proceed. So that is a poll question. It's going to ask, what do you want to do? We'll do that towards the end after the meeting because you'll have a better idea of that when the meeting is towards the end. So, um, and then depending on at the very end, depending on if anybody's left and if anybody has any interest during quarantine, I led and other people from the group led online events every night for 3 months. And we created one heck of an online community, let me tell you. And in fact, lots of people have since gotten married. It's been a whole bunch of weddings of friends from that time. It was really amazing time. And um, but one of the things we did is I put up the whiteboard. And when the whiteboard is up, we created at the end, my idea is at the end of this to create a group piece of art. It's really cool because you can grab the pens and markers. If you're angry, you can put something angry. If you're happy and feel connected and in love, you can put a heart. You can do whatever you want. But somehow symbolically, it just seems like a nice thing to do. So my thought is we'll do that at the end. Um, any questions? And then we'll get started with my surprise exercise. Yes, Patrice, do you want to unmute and you can great. Uh-oh, can't hear you. Change your audio settings. Go to the microphone. Can you do that? Do you want to put it in the chat? You could type if you have a question. Anybody else in the meantime while she's typing have any questions? Okay. All right. Uh, doo, doo, doo. Nope. Dude, sorry, Patrice, how frustrating. You know how I'm thinking you know how to adjust your audio settings, right? You might have to run through every microphone option you have, or go out, leave, and come back again. You could try that too. Nope, can't hear you. So, are you okay with me going on, Patrice? And then you can put your question in the chat box? Shake your head. This is a yes? No. No, can't hear you. So I'd like to go on if you're okay with that, Patrice. If you can just put your message in the chat. It's frustrating. Ah. All right, so let me explain. Um, this is my event, and I think it's a good idea. But if you don't think it's a good idea, we're going to do a breakout room. And if you don't think it's a good idea, just stay in the main room and don't do it. Okay? But I feel like a lot of us have a lot of feelings going on right now. Fear, anger, apathy, resignation. I'm just naming mine. A lot of feelings. And I wanted to give space for our feelings, but Sue and I both felt like we didn't want this event to be like an angry bitch kind of session so that we all get up and are just ready to like we don't want that. We want to leave one another lifted up and inspired, but at the same time, there are a lot of feelings going on. So we want to make space for that. So here's my idea. I wanted to put you in breakout rooms with three people, and I have named this exercise speed venting because I don't know if you've had this experience when someone's angry at something else and you happen to be in their presence and they kind of just blah on you and you take it personally and you react back and you get defensive and all this stuff when really it didn't have anything to do with you at all. And Sue and I, since we've known each other for so long, we have this thing. It's like, Sue, can I just vent for a few minutes, please? Can I just vent? She's like, yes, I got it. And so that involves when you're witnessing somebody venting, you can just sit down. Like what I like to do is kind of ground myself. And I imagine this feeling coming in, going through and down my grounding cord. I like to have a grounding cord and I just run it down into the center of the earth and I burn it up. I do not take it in. So that's the invitation. Don't take it in. Just hold space for somebody. And if you're not comfortable doing it, don't worry, don't do it. Okay. But if you want to do it, I really invite you to. And if you don't feel that it would be healthful for you to hold the space for somebody else to vent, totally fine too. Okay. So this is only going to be a short thing, three people in a group. It's not going to take long. If you don't want to do it, again, don't go into the breakout room. Just hold tight in the main room and we'll be back shortly. Okay. So
Joe,
I'm going
you
to
are
give
going
an
to give an
example.
example. You are going to give an
Wow.
example.
Yes. I'm going to give an example. Okay. And will it offend anybody if I like use profanity? Okay. Because there's a lot of profanity that's like in my feelings right now. So all right. So I just like, God, I'm so fucking frustrated. I hate it. There's so many idiotic people in Congress. I understand why our leader he can be just a total idiot, but it's like I don't understand how so many people are following him and listening to him and believing him and acting like total jerks. I'm so sick of it. Okay, there's my vent. And you know what? That felt really good. I feel like I'm gonna cry a little bit. That felt really good. Ooh, wow. I think I should do that more often, maybe every day. Whew, Sue, give a demo. Wait, you're muted. That's no fair. You're muted.
Oh my God, there's so many crazy people out there. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust. I wake up happy. I wake up, no, I don't wake up happy. I wake up really sad most of the time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. So you can just say a couple sentences. If you want to go 30 seconds, go there 30 seconds. Okay. If you want to pass in the group, if you want to witness, but you don't want to do it, do it. If you want to just speak in a normal voice, do whatever you want. Okay. Whatever will really get you present right now and available for us to connect and really spend some quality time together. Okay. If there's anything in the way, if there's something you're worried about, if there's whatever it is, okay. I know you get the idea now. So, okay, 52 people is so cool. So I'm going to put us in groups of three, and that is co-host. Okay. I'm going to put us so, all right. Everybody down? Any questions about that? It seems pretty clear, huh? Okay, so it's 17 rooms. And if you want to stay back, and I'll rearrange rooms if I can, okay? So don't worry. Here we go.
How
So
much
go,
time do people get?
if you need to take 30 seconds, take 30 seconds. If you just want to say a few sentences, it can be in a normal voice. You don't have to get angry. Just however you want to use this time to get present, okay? All right. So just come back when you're done. You can return from the breakout rooms, come back when you're done. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Everybody got three. It feels good to get angry, I feels good. I think for a lot of women, it's a bit hard to do that. All right, here we go. Going in, Jordan? Okay, no problem. Is there anything you want to say? You don't have to vent, but how you're doing right now?
Scared, but otherwise hanging in there, trying to insulate myself as much as possible,
It's going to be
and
one
voting
of the
with my dollar.
questions on the poll
Yeah,
is that, yeah,
trying to not
I'm so
support evil companies who are supporting people.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that also. So if you have specific ideas on how to do that,
Yeah.
Patrice, okay, Patrice is having trouble. There's Patrice again. Let me see if anybody's just got nobody in the room. Two people. Okay. Oops, one person. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Hey, sorry, Paige. You didn't get anybody in your room.
No, I certainly didn't.
Would you like to have me
No,
receive your feelings?
no, I'm fine. I was very glad to tell everyone myself about my feelings, so that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
I
you.
just want to give people an opportunity.
Of
Um,
course.
so how about you can just leave and come back to the main room?
How do I do that?
Doesn't it give you on the bottom, doesn't it say leave room?
Let me just see. I'm an older person here. Yes, leave.
Yeah. So leave breakout room. Did you put the poll up, Sue?
Got it.
Sue, you're muted.
It's up. Okay, so you'll have to
Did you,
coach me.
but you put it up, right?
I haven't done anything. Sorry, I just went
Oh,
to
do you see it up right now?
so I went and grabbed it. Yeah, so it's like, and if I select it, then I can't launch it.
I can do them. I can do them.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Hi, Patrice. I like your glasses. As long as we're
I okay.
Hmm. Somebody said they already got one of the poll questions and they answered it when they entered the room. So
Okay, okay, great. Okay. Yeah, we're not experts with polls. Hi, Patrice. Are you functioning now? Can you hear me? Okay, you're
you're
muted.
muted. You're
Unmute
muted.
yourself.
You're muted.
Yeah,
Okay. Holding on.
we didn't know if you could hear us or not. Yeah, there. I asked you to unmute. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah,
Okay,
can you hear me?
There she
say something.
is.
All right. Sorry, ladies, I've been having
We got it.
terrible. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I've been having my laptop sound just absolutely died like a few minutes ago, and anyway, I'm here.
Okay,
So
awesome.
do we know who KT is?
Yes, yeah, she's from
Okay.
Colorado.
Okay.
Okay, I guess the poll's been up for 43 minutes, so I think it just was there when people started.
I haven't seen the poll.
So you don't see it now.
No,
Don't
I do
say
not.
it. Nope. I
Oh,
see
yeah.
you guys. lovely faces.
So unfortunately, I made a mistake of not making one poll with a lot of questions. I made 5 1-question polls. So we'll do them separately, individually.
Jody, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, so I haven't gotten a single word of what's been going on. So what I want to know is, are we here to discuss the current political situation in our country? Yes or no?
So the actual politics of what's going on?
Yes.
No.
So why are we here?
We are here. Okay. Since people are still coming back, we are here to form a group to to just get connected with one another, share coping strategies, what we're doing that's working, what we're not, share different action steps that we can take, figure out, do we want to do something as a group or just share so we can do things individually, not as a group. And then just basically to create community around this. And we're co-creating this experience. So maybe we want to do breakout rooms sometime so people can talk about how they're doing. Maybe sometime we'll have a meeting where we can talk about the politics of it and how we feel about it. We can make this be whatever we want it to be. So this
Right,
is kind of, yeah.
but so to share with each other coping mechanisms about how we're coping with what?
How we're dealing with the current state that's going, like there's so much stress, there's so much change, there's
Okay,
so
but
much.
so
Wait, you just went muted, Patrice. Somehow it muted itself.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so all right.
Yeah. We
Thank you.
could, it's possible. I actually like to talk about specific issues, but maybe we'll have a night, we'll do breakouts. So if people want to do that, we can do that. If people want to, talk about, whatever. So this is the meeting to create what it is, how we want to proceed.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to close the breakout rooms because I think there's people still there. All right. People must be liking the breakout rooms because most people are still in them. Usually I put a time on them, but I thought the most would be like a minute and a half or 2 minutes. So, all right, awesome. All right. I'd love to have a Cliff Note version of okay. Thank you, Jordan. So, yeah, if as you know, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna save the chat. So if there is something you would like to get out of this, you could put it in a chat. But we'll let the meeting unfold because this is going to be about what do you want to get out of this and how can we move into the future together. So that's what this is about. All right. Do you see the poll? I'm going to start. There's like 5 poll questions. And unfortunately, I did 5 1-question polls instead of 1 5-question poll. So, and I didn't have time to change them. So I am going to, can you guys see the poll that's up right now? It's called
No.
participation.
No.
Not everybody can. Okay. All right. So it says it's launched. Okay, let's try another one. So I've got, here we go. Launch. Sue, maybe you can explore. I've got a poll here, but it's not launching. I have it up. A poll. Oh, because the other one's launched right now. I have to end that one. All right, I'm going to end that one. All right, I'm going to launch this one.
Nope.
Okay, there's the poll.
Yes. Okay, go ahead. You answer.
I don't see it.
Okay, I see it.
Some people
Oh,
do.
Yeah,
check all
Okay.
that you
check.
can.
Yeah.
How many people don't see it? Okay, let's proceed with it because I don't know what to do about if you can't see it. Okay, thank you. I love seeing this. See you guys fill this out. It's awesome.
Let's see. I feel
As soon as it stops moving, then I'll end it
What
and
if
we'll
you
go
don't
to the
feel
next
any
one.
of these?
scared.
What's that?
Anything
you don't
else you
feel
want
any
to add?
Feelings
No.
and
How
I
would
put
one
mute.
see?
angry,
Sorry, the last question. You can ignore number 2. That's
scared,
just
and
nothing.
lonely.
Somebody have a question?
Yeah, what if you don't feel any of these?
Well, I did put other on there, but it's not showing.
Question,
No,
untitled.
I don't see other.
If you want
Where
to
do
say
you
how
go
it
to
is
see
you are
this
feeling,
poll?
I'd
Yeah.
be interested.
I think you have to drag down.
Scroll down.
Jody, what I see, this is Patrice.
Yes.
I see poll 2 questions. How are you feeling these days? And then multiple options. And then the second question says untitled question,
Yeah.
multiple choice, choice 1
Yeah.
and choice 2.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Ignore
Just so
the
you know.
second question. Ignore
Got you,
it.
got you.
It's,
Okay, great.
it's
Okay, got it.
incidental.
Okay, got it. All right.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
it looks like okay, it's still moving a little bit. As soon as everybody's done, then I will end it. Looks like it's done.
Were
Okay.
there 2 polls or just 1 poll?
Okay, that's one. Now I'm going to do the next one.
Gotcha.
Thank you. All right. And let's do the next one. Launch.
Okay.
Do you feel that you have the support you need or want from partners, family, friends, or community? This could range from someone to talk to when you're upset to someone to share in your successes.
Doreen has a question, Jode.
Okay, yes. Thanks, Doreen. Go ahead. Yeah.
Jody, is it possible for people to mute themselves? People are reading questions and there's a lot of background noise.
Yes, I actually, that was me. I read it out loud, but yeah, let's mute it. Sue, can you keep doing that?
Jody,
Looks
you're
like
muted.
everybody's done with this. Okay, I'm going to end it. And let's go. I'm going to relaunch this one. Here we go. How do you see yourself participating with this group? Maybe we should do that at the end.
Good idea. Do it at the end.
Yeah. If someone could remind me, I'm notoriously bad at remembering. Anybody, when we're getting ready to end, can say, don't forget that poll. It might be a good idea to do it at the end. Well, we'll assume that you liked the meeting and you got something out of it. Okay, great. This is really great to have an idea of where everybody's at. I really like this. Okay. Everybody, oh, they're still coming. 31. Anybody else? Yep. Awesome. 35. Anybody else? All right. Closing. And I believe, let's see. Okay, this one is at the end we need to do. I'm going to ask, how would you like to proceed action-wise? So we'll stop for now, and I'm going to share, let's share the results. So view results. Can everybody see this? Let's take, so I'm going to, okay, share results. So let's take the temperature in the room. Choose the top 3 feelings that you're experiencing. Sadness. Can everybody read this? If it's hard for you, I can read it out loud, but otherwise, if you want to just take a look at it. So sadness, 14, hopeless, 8, resigned, 7, angry, 29, numb, 5, scared, 26. So angry and scared. Yeah. Patrice, that's why we're doing the meeting. Because, it's hard enough to be angry and scared, but at least we can do it together. Hopefully it'll be a little better if we can do it together. All right. So let's share the next one. And enough support. Let's look at that. Okay. Do you feel you have enough support? Yes, plenty. I'm so glad. 18 people. Awesome. No, and I'm okay with it. One person. Minimum amount to be okay, 12. And no, I'm wanting to build more support. So 17 out of 48 people. That's why we're here. 17 people at least would really like to have more support. All right. And enough support, participation. And how would you? Okay. So we'll come back to the other two at the end. Sue, please remind me, please. Okay. Good. All right. So, I wanted to play a song for you. When I hear this song, it is really deeply moving and very powerful. How many people saw the film about Harriet Tubman? Did you guys see that film? Okay. I highly recommend it. It is profound and powerful. So Cynthia Erivo is Elphaba with Wicked. And she also was Harriet. She wrote the song. She starred in the movie and she sang it at the Academy Awards. And this song is about, for those of you, if anybody doesn't know who she is, she saved a whole lot of slaves, particularly towards the end of slavery. She was such a hero. And I have the chills just talking about it. Melissa and I have listened to this, and each time we listen to it, we stop and we're so moved by it. And I felt like I just really wanted us to take a minute and listen to the song. So I hope that you don't think this is a waste of time. I really don't think it's a waste of time. And I'd really love it if you would just sit for a moment. And if you're willing to just kind of let yourself be moved by it, I invite you to do that. Otherwise, just watch Cynthia Erivo. She is unbelievable. So this song is about rising up in times of struggle and coming together and being there and lifting each other up. And that's really what I see this is about, us getting together, this group. So I'm going to just play that. Hang in there for it, please. And I hope that you can feel the power of this. Okay. Sorry, I need to share the sound too. I always forget that. Okay. So it'll be 5 minutes. If you want to move to it or just close your eyes or anything you want to do. Oh, okay. Remember, part of the intention of this meeting is to inspire each other also and to help soothe each other.
I've been walking with my face turned to the sun.
Is it loud enough?
Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. sun begins to shine. We're gonna start moving towards that separating line. Oh, I'm waiting through muddy water. You know I got a made up mind. I made up my mind. And I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home. Far across the river, you hear freedom calling, calling me to enter. Gonna keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone. And I just might fail, but Lord knows I try. Shine stars fill up the I'm going to a brand new home, far across the river. I have freedom calling to answer. Keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Did you like that? Okay.
You,
Okay.
you know, Joe, but if I can say something here, I never realized how much I love my country until now. And that's what that song brings up. And it's yeah, this love for our country that it's almost like we haven't been able to talk about. So I just wanted to put that into the space because it's not often put into the space about a love for our country.
You, Sue, thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability. You know, I'm interested in just creating a place that can hold it all. There's a lot to hold right now, isn't there? There's a lot of feelings, there's a lot. Thank you, Joan. I'm just looking at you right now. My friend Joan is like on it right now to get people together, to take action, to do shit. So Joan is here right now, and you know, she's kind of holding a little bit different place than I am. She's like, I'm pissed and I want to do something about it. So Joan, you know, if you have something you want to put in the chat, like a way to reach you or something, you're welcome to. I don't know, do you want to say hi or just say a few sentences?
Yeah, I'll say a few sentences. Yeah, I have been meeting with a small group of gals. It's been up to 14, 15 now. Two of the ladies are here with me, Jodine and Lisa. But in one short week, we've already had one meeting. We're planning on going to Little Kim's tomorrow to March. I think 4 or 5 of us. We've got signs, and then we got a group of us going to LA next week to March. We're calling every day. So if you want to, oh, and we're also hooking up with a local Indivisible group. Thank you, Susan Meyer. I spoke with you last week, so giving me a heads up on that, and I will connect with you more. But anyways, I will put that information on the chat if you want to join our group. So far, it's local. Yeah, please connect with us, and the whole thought is just going out and not doing this together, like kind of like Jody is saying, but our group is more targeted action. So thank you for that introduction, Jody.
You're welcome. And we'll talk, the end section of this is about action. So we can leave with things, actual things we could do.
Great, thank you.
Okay, anybody want to say anything at this point? We're gonna, the next thing we're gonna do is start talking about strategies and things that we're doing. If you look at the plowshare prayer. Okay, I love suggestions here. Just let me have your suggestions, because we will have another meeting. And let me post my email address here. So jody@lesbiangetaways.com is a great email address for me. If you want to send me input, questions, anything, there's my email. All right. So, Sue, do you want to say anything? Sue? You're muted. No? Okay. Okay. So I thought it would be a good idea. We can do this in big group or we can do it in breakout groups. To share the things that we've kind of figured out that we're doing that are working for us. I think that would be really, really helpful. And so I'm going to share a couple simple things. I'm doing it first just to kind of give you an example. I kind of like doing things in the big group because I have FOMO really bad in general. I don't want to miss out on anything. So I don't want to go in a group of 3 and then think for a moment that somebody in the other group said something that would have like rocked my world. So maybe we could work on doing it together. The thing about big groups is sometimes people don't feel as comfortable sharing in big groups. So, okay, maybe, yeah, let's try staying together. So, so one of the things I've figured out to do is that I'm really making myself do the thing that's the most fun for me, which is to take my dogs to the park. I have 2 little fluffy dogs and I have a remote control truck and I go to an enclosed park and they will chase this remote control truck for half an hour straight. And I've gotten really good at steering it. So I go all around and I try to hit them and they jump over it. And it is like I saw somebody doing it. I wish I could say I made it up. I didn't. But it is brilliant. And they are exhausted by the time I'm done. So it makes me so happy to do it. And I get outside. So that's something that I do. And it helps to shift my mood, my space. We're going to share, I'm thinking we could share 1, 2, or 3 things. Another thing that I do is that this is just me, I feel personally in this time that the thing that makes me be able to deal with the stuff that's happening here on this planet. I'm a kind of a healer type, a frequency energy type of person. And it's so intense down here that what I do is that I listen to a lot of videos and things of spiritual kinds of things. And I try to keep in mind that I am a soul living in a body on this planet. Because when I can look at a bigger perspective like that, a bigger perspective, it really helps me deal with this stuff down here because it gives me a bigger context for, past, present, future lives, the universe, God, whatever it all is. It really helps me to keep context. And I think for me, that's the most powerful thing that I can do to just get through this. So those are 2 of my things. I'm trying to stay away from toxic people as much as I can, difficult, challenging people, and go towards the flow and away from the resistance in as many things as I can. So that's me. Does anybody want to share it. Sue, were you gonna do your examples? And
I
then,
can do
and
my
then
example. Yeah.
I'd really love to hear if you want to get out, like, I don't know, maybe I can type them in the chat or something. So people can kind of, I'll type in the chat. So go ahead, Sue.
So I'm just bringing music back into my life, and I'm having music events here, and I'm bringing back my singing voice because it's connecting me to my heart, because it just feels so important to stay connected to my heart, and music's a good way to do it. So I'm just challenging myself to have some music at my house uh, every other month or every month even. And then also I'm really trying to focus on the opportunity of this time, and the opportunity that I see, instead of mulling on what's not working, is the opportunity to connect with community, because I've never felt such a strong need to connect with my local community. So sort of a mindfulness of where I'm placing my attention. Yeah.
Thank you. Does anybody want to share? Go for it, Jennifer.
There we go. Yeah, it's I do a lot of meditation and I do a lot of yoga because it's a great community. I do a lot of woodworking, so all these things bring me peace. Also, I like to lecture and educate on the LGBTQ community and what that is, especially to cis straight people, because they don't have a good understanding. So I'd like to put it out there. I'm always available to lecture if anyone needs a speaker. But those things to me are so rewarding and they keep me grounded.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. You know what works really well? Yeah, thank you, Paige. If you raise up your emoji hand, because what it does, it puts you up on the top kind of in a row, and then it makes it really easy. So I saw somebody else, but go ahead, Paige. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, hi everyone. I'm Paige. On top of everything else that's going on in the world, I am also I need to find a place to move, a new residence. And the reason I need to move is because there are no people in the building where I live now. I was the first person here. All of them are young, very nice students who don't really have conversations much during the day, and I'm lonely. So once again, I have to find a place where there is a community. And then on top of that, we have this going on. So what I do is I take long walks and look for treasures in the park where I live, near the lake and near the sea, near the bay, I should say. And I find wonderful things. I find wonderful things, and then I'm a hobbyist, so I put things together. I make things out of things that I find, and it's just the most fun thing in the whole world. So my birthday is March 17th. I'll be 78, and I hope that all of us, I hope to be with all of you and all of us continuing this relationship, because it's very helpful for the elder in me who is a little bit alone and without family. You are family. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Paige. Thank you. There's a lot of us that are very much alone. Paige, where do you live?
Emeryville.
Ah, you're in the Bay Area.
Bay Area, yes.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Thanks so much. You're doing a lovely job, by the way.
Thank you. You know, I just decide I'm not trying to be perfect, so that this lets me off the hook. Then I can be relaxed.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
You're welcome. Okay, so Cynthia.
Hi. Thanks for the group, Jody. This is lovely. I was chatting with Chris, and one of the things that I do is, and I'm not preaching, but my spiritual tradition got an honorable dismention by the person in the White House. We were called evil, and I thought that was great because we supported immigrants and things like that. So I have been really hanging with my spiritual tradition, kind of like you, in prayer and meditation, trying to let's just say gently influence maybe people to be a little more caring towards each other in my requests, and we'll see what happens. I have to deal with people of all kinds. I work in a hospital and I can't discriminate against anybody. So during the day, I have to put up with various and sundry opinions that may or may not be the same as mine. So I spend a lot of time in the car decompressing. I look like a crazy person in my car, but it's a great place to vent where you're not having to apologize to people as long as you're not road raging. And my mom's got her little 84-year-old cronies already doing this, and I think it's a great idea. Uh, this summer at the Orange County Fair, there is a Republican and a Democrat voter registration booth. And getting out and finding politicians that might be a little more supportive and throwing our support in the form of simply just signing people up to vote or being out there is a great idea that I thought she gave to me, and I thought I'd pass it on to this group. We are enough pissed off ladies, we can actually make a difference.
We could do a get out to vote. That could be one of our action steps. So thank you. I did put letting out feelings while in the car. Yes, I'm making a big paragraph, so we can go back and read these. Thank you. Laura.
Mute. Hi, thank you. I decided the night of election day that my life needed to be different starting the next day because I just knew what I was going to wake up to. So I just thought about who I was going to be. I am going to be an American who's entitled to full representation, freedoms, and existence. And I live in that reality every moment of every day. And nobody can, regardless of what's happening on the news or in chat about what's wrong with me or my people or any other people that I love, which is, people of all sorts, I reject that. And I just live in my freedom. And if you want to arrest me for something I'm doing, like when they take marriage equality away, which we know is coming, if I'm so lucky to find the love of my life and want to get married, I will go to the court and ask for a marriage license and make them arrest me. I will make a scene. Other more practical things that I'm doing day to day. Every woman earned dollar that I own, which is all of them, are only going to women-led and women-owned businesses now. I've not ordered from Amazon since the day before the election. And I will never order from a place where my money is going to one of those white men billionaires that was in the Oval Office. And I'd like every woman to do that. And I don't care who the woman is who's running Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm going to give her my dollars instead of Bezos because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel better. I've done this my whole life, but whenever I see a cat, a dog, a bug, whatever, I go, oh, look at her. Look at that bird. What's she doing? Because he is not gender neutral. It's the patriarchy. And my little nephew said to me, how do you know that's a girl? And I looked at them and I told them the truth. I don't. But my world, I'm a woman, I represent women, and I'm not going to say he when we're talking about your doctor and I don't know the gender, or your nurse and I don't know the gender. They're all she to me. And it's little acts of affirmation that are important to me. And one of the things that's really, really helped me, and it was kind of inadvertent, I started reading a lot of history the last couple of years. And we are not in the worst time that has ever existed by a long shot. And that perspective is why I clicked happy in the way I'm feeling, because we are going to survive this. And we are strong and we can do it together, and we can each do it every single day in a way that affirms us as Americans, us as women, us as queer women, us, the us that is us. And my heart goes out mostly to DACA kids. And I have let it be known to everybody I talk to that if there is a DACA person in need and in danger of being thrown out of the country, the only country they know, I'm willing to do something about that and risk, like the Underground Railroad, and risk my own safety, and to use my privilege to help others who are being hurt right now. That's
Bravo, Laura. That gave me the chills. I love that idea. So maybe
There's
when we
tons of them. I know, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Maybe when we circle back to action, we can come up with something around that.
I know
That would be
everybody
really
here has ideas, and I'm anxious to hear them.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get the gist out of everyone and write it down here. So
Yeah, thank you.
so oh, you're welcome. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. Deb.
Hey everybody. Hi, I am doing what I call practicing random acts of defiant kindness, because kindness is suddenly uncool, which automatically makes me want to be even more kind than I was already attempting to be. And so I am very deliberately checking on people in my personal life, people that I may not have talked to in quite a while, people that I know may have some sort of vulnerability in this life, people who have struggles with their health or the elderly, whatever the case may be. Same type of situation at work. I have held the same job for 18 and a half plus years. And so even relationships from the very, very beginning of my career, I am taking the time now to reach out and check on people. And I am staying as neutral as possible, not knowing where people at, where they're at and what they're thinking, what their beliefs are, and wanting to truly just provide a moment of caring. So I'm saying things like, hey, it's been a minute. Just wanted to reach out and say I'm thinking of you. And then of course I have a close group of friends where I can talk about exactly how I think and feel about everything. So we've kind of formed circles where we check on each other every day, which is awesome. And the last thing, and this is probably my fan favorite, is wherever I go. Before I had my professional career, I worked a lot of service jobs, and so those folks will always have a special place in my heart. So whether I'm at the grocery store, the auto shop, wherever I may be, doing whatever business I have, I will make a point of whoever is either doing the checkout or somebody I'm standing in line with, someone that is waiting on me, whatever the case is at a restaurant. I will say, hey, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much. Or you're doing an awesome job. Thank you so much. And those two things, if you guys try that even once this week, you will watch people absolutely light up. Doesn't matter their age, gender, what service occupation that they are in, doesn't matter. You will watch people light up and have that moment of hope again. And I absolutely love doing that. And when I have an opportunity to be defiant in that way, that's a perfect fit for me. So I'm like my own little one-woman marching band out there saying, great job, everybody. We're going to get through this together somehow, some way. And you're doing great, and keep going.
That is so beautiful. It's really beautiful. I think it is the time it's like an act of rebellion to not get fucked up and to get extra kind and extra joyful, because, otherwise we're letting it get to us. It's the attempt is for us to be overwhelmed, overstimulated, discouraged. And so I think that is the ultimate act of rebellion. Thank you. Yeah. Rasa. Thanks so much for your participation. This is exactly what I was hoping for. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. For myself, I've started meditating a lot more, because I think when all this stuff started, I felt very out of control. We did our best. We did phone calls. We did try to get voter registration. We did all the things, and it still didn't, work, and it got frustrating. And so for my own self meditation has helped. Really focusing on building a community of women. I have to be honest, and maybe I'm being over dramatic, as my mother would say, but I just feel like the country still couldn't have a female president. I mean, this was already with Hillary and Obama. And I loved President Obama, but I think Hillary should have been president then. You know what I mean? I mean, we can get into all of that, and that misogyny that is still, I think, part of just our culture is hard sometimes to deal with. So yeah, so for that, meditating and kind of sitting in the presence of all these feelings and just kind of dealing with them. And then yeah, building community, and then really talking to the youth in my family, girls, and letting them know, I have a goddaughter who's in her 20s, who she had to have a medically induced abortion, and she lives in a state where she couldn't have an abortion. So she had to, I wish she would have reached out to me. I would have flown her to me and would have handled it. But she was private. It's her thing, and we have nieces and little cousins, little, kids and stuff. And it's like, we have these strong little girls coming up, and we have to just working on the youth and reminding them they have a voice and that their voice matters and it's powerful and it counts. And teaching children, especially girls, that they have agency and they can say yes, they can say no, and that needs to be respected. And then for the teens / up through 20s, letting them know, hey, you need anything, I live in a state where things are available. You can come to me, and so we can handle it, and that kind of thing. I don't have children myself, so I'm the cool auntie, and it starts with family. And I worked with teenagers for years, and if I still did, I would say those things to them as well. And yeah, so.
Rosa, thank you for that. You raised something really important. I heard an ad on the radio today. Do you see this? Kidsguide.com. Look it's a whole gift pack of President Trump goodies for children, and it's free. Look at this. We need to do this. We need to talk to kids too, because it's indoctrination is happening. So we need too.
Yeah, it's just watching all this. My family, they were war refugees from Eastern Europe. They came from a former Soviet republic, and when the Soviet Union fell and became democratic in the 90s, I was like, I was like, you just wait. I was like, they're brilliant and they're patient. It's going to be a long game. Just wait. And this is typical Soviet propaganda. What you just saw is typical Soviet propaganda. And and to have my mother, who was a war child, born during the war, while they were fleeing, the Soviet regime, say, Trump's got a lot going for him. He really speaks the truth. And I gotta get behind him. He just knows how to run a country. And I'm just like, all right, let's see what happens when your pension's gone and you're, whatever.
It's coming. I think it's coming. It's going to start trickling down to people, and they're going to start hurting. It's too bad people have to start hurting to get it, That's such a shame. Thank you for your input. Sue, at some point, can you briefly, whenever it is, talk about the fourth turning, okay? I think it's something good to share. Okay, Mimi Gonzalez. Yes, this is the Mimi Gonzalez. I love her.
Mimi Gonzalez loves you too. And Mimi loves you, Jody. I love you. But I think Mary Giuliani has been waiting to go for the last 3 people. So let's call on her before me.
Okay, because I have it in order that you raised your hand. So that's right in order on my screen. Okay, Mary.
Hers has been up for a while.
Okay,
Well,
okay, gotcha.
Thank you, Mimi. I don't know who's in line, but Jody, thank you so much for doing what you do best, which is bringing us together.
And Sue,
of course. My biggest thing that I do really is stay in community, and your community, Jody, the CGA, which is Conscious Girlfriend Academy, which is all about learning how to be kind and compassionate to yourself and others and develop healthy relationships. And, the other thing that's near and dear to me is, the whole reason that this is even happening is because of a man with severe unprocessed trauma. And so I've written a whole book about, healing trauma. And so for me, it's about helping people like heal and love themselves and have compassion for themselves and recognize that that they are perfect, whole, and complete as is. So just helping people to really love themselves. The other thing is as far as like just having fun, just doing things to have fun as well. I just went on a great retreat, which you were at, Jody, in Palm Springs.
Yes.
And then as far as just like for me, a boundary around this is taking care of my financial issues. Like I just turned 65 a few months ago, and I'm like, I'm taking my Social Security now while it's there. So that's what I'm doing to protect my money.
Oh.
And yeah. And so
Interesting.
I've also put together, I'm working with your sister's company actually, to put together a financial plan that is going to take care of me no matter what. So that's a big thing for me, because that was really scary for me once that the new president came in. It was like, oh my God, no, I'm not waiting till I'm 70. I'm getting it now. And also, what else? Being as kind and compassionate to other people as well as myself. And just putting it out there, I just got a new therapist that I love working with. And so for me, working on myself to be a kind and compassionate person trickles down to other people, and helping other people heal their trauma so that they don't raise children that end up like somebody in the White House. Really, my whole thing is all about community, and I don't watch the news. I get the main things from people, because that's very dysregulating for me. Just being a kind person and being part of the community. And this is really my family, this community with you, Jody, and with the CGA group, and having a family that you can, like a soft place to fall, is really so important. So anyway, that's me. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. Okay, Mimi.
Thank you, Jody.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue. And thank you, everybody who's in this room. And I would have to say that I'm listening to people like Adrienne Maree Brown, who wrote Emergent Strategy and We Will Not Cancel Us, among 4 or 5 other titles. There is a really great TED Talk. Which talk was it? Where Gloria Steinem is interviewing Adrienne Maree Brown as one of the new faces of real feminism. And one of the things Adrienne Maree Brown says is, we have to come to grips with the toxic hustle culture we live in, and that rest is actually radical. And she is Black, so she says, her Black joy is an act of resistance. Absolutely, it is. And I think if I can find joy, I definitely find when I'm in community, I at least don't feel alone in this mess. And it is an act of resistance to love myself and to love my community and my queer community. And at age 65, it feels like a balancing act, because we're going to have a huge world pride. It's not just DC pride. It's world pride from the middle of May until June 8th. And then there's going to be a march. And an activist part of me really wants to be there. This is the time to show up. And another part of me doesn't want to be there and wants to be safe. So I'm negotiating and navigating all my parts and feelings. And I can just say that by creating events, like you create great events, Jody, that people, the DC March is world pride, not just DC. World pride, which has been in Amsterdam and Vancouver and Toronto and Spain and Madrid. I mean, it's been everywhere. This year it's in DC. Really. Just put in World Pride in your browser and you'll find it. Jody, to create events is actually an act of defiance also. It really is something that says we will continue to gather. And through gathering together, we're going to bring each other strength and we're going to bring each other reasons to continue to believe. And I really applaud you, and I applaud Greece. And you're also having, you just did Costa Rica, and you're going to do somewhere in, are you doing Prague or? Oh
No,
God.
Costa Rica is in June. Greece is in September. We're going to the International Women's Festival. It's one of the two things we're doing. And let me tell you, that is just really awesome. It's
You're
really
going,
amazing.
where is that?
It's on Lesbos.
Oh,
Island.
okay, that's where the
Yeah.
International Women's Festival.
International Arestos Women's Festival. I did put the link to my meetup group and also to Lesbian Getaways because you can join the mailing list there because I would like to be able to reach you all if you want to be reached. So I have your the email on when you registered, so I can at least send out something, just a way to that we can stay in touch with each other. Yeah. Yeah, we do, we do local events here in Southern California. And if, hey, if you're in Seattle, just fly the hell down here for the weekend. You can stay in our yard, in our pool house or something. So, it's like we need to be together. We need that.
Yeah, donating to other people's GoFundMe's and donating to ACLU and doing what we can do. That is something that we can do. I mean, I write with a group of older writers, older than me even, on Friday afternoons. And one of them is really a lot of them are very strong, but her act of resistance is a poem a day on Facebook for 2025. That's her 2025 poetry project. So there are every little bit of raising our fist with a pen or a paintbrush or a microphone, whatever we have, that all counts because we're saying something to ourselves, that we're not. That's all I have to say.
That's all? Are you sure? Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. One of the things that I have been considering lately, we're talking about an act of defiance to not let it get us, is the level and the depth of pain and stress and hurt you feel is a reflection of how deep your feelings are and how much love you have inside. So I like to think about that. Sometimes it actually helps. Like, yes, I'm a deep feeling, deep loving person. And, if I let my light go out, how am I going to make any difference with this mess? So I've had my healer, I had a session with her and, that's what I came because I have this thing like, what right do I have to be happy when there's so many people suffering in the world? That's my thing. I know why I have that thing. I have a huge heart, and I think in general, actually, it's more of a democratic type of experience when everybody does good kind of thing, versus, the independent person, get out there, get a job. It's up to you. If you're successful, you're whatever. It's really a different mentality. So I do feel kind of the pain of the world. And so for me to kind of break myself free and justify and make it okay to be joyful and happy in the face of all the suffering. So I've kind of had this little vision of having this little spotlight on my forehead in the dark, just kind of shining away. And the brighter I can make this light shine, the more difference it's going to make. Because otherwise, if it goes out, man, you know, it's no good for me, and I can't make any difference at all, and that's going to feel even worse. So keep that vision, because it really is helpful just to shine away, and it is defiant. Love that.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
Jode,
Yeah.
I was gonna say also, with what Mimi said is, like, as we're trying to figure out like how to a path forward with these meetings, what she said about what is your act of resistance, and I think that could be a good thing to keep in mind, like with what you were just saying, and then what Mimi just said, like what is it that we want to contribute, and how do we keep our light shining, and as a group, how do we stay connected so we don't burn out? By staying connected, we're gonna more be able to go the months and years that we're going to need to do this.
Yes. It looks like I can't. I'm gonna put out now. I'm gonna put out while we're still here the polls again. If you haven't answered this one, I'm relaunching this one, which is, how are you currently participating with current affairs? I'm really curious to know, what are other people doing out there? I know what I'm doing. I'm really curious. Okay, interesting. There's 0 on the top one. I'm ignoring it. Probably that's the subset of people that are here right now. We're not ignoring it. That's why we're here. Interesting. Oh, you guys can't see it as it's going, can you? You can't see anything right now, right? Okay. Okay. As long as it's clicking, people are doing it, and then I'll share it. 39, 40. Still coming, still coming. All right. I'm going to close it, and let me just share this.
Jody, I didn't see anything. Was something supposed to pop up?
Yeah. Huh. Lisa, are you on a phone or a tablet, or what are you on?
I'm on a tablet.
Did anybody else not see anything? Huh. Paige didn't see anything? Okay. I do not know the answer to that, I'm sorry to say. So the question is, how are you currently participating with current affairs? I'm ignoring it, not watching any news. That's 0. I check in once a day with summaries and headlines, so I have an idea of what's going on. That's 18 people out of 40. I watch, listen to the news regularly, and feel mostly current on what's happening. That's 9. And then 10 people said, I feel very well versed in our current state of affairs. Okay. I think it's really interesting.
That's one that I saw it earlier. So not
okay,
now.
good. Okay, good. A few people did it, but not everybody. Okay. And then I want to do this one also. So what do you hope to get out of the meeting? So I thought we'd do it now towards the end. So why are you here? Next time I do polls, I'll do them better than this. It'll be one poll with 5
Nikki
questions.
has a question, I think.
Okay, yeah. Nikki.
Hi, thanks. I don't have a question. I have a comment.
Okay.
I think that our time, I just want to say, it just seems like the time is very quick. There's a lot. It feels like we have to do a lot right now. There's not a lot of time that we have for the speed at which things are going. And when I was canvassing for the election, I found a lot of people who were ignorant, and they were otherwise Trump supporters. And I found like 2 different kinds of Trump supporters: MAGA supporters who we couldn't even agree on the first sentence. But then there were a lot of people who were Republicans who were voting, who seemed to be very ill-informed. And it was my job. I went to different stores. I was in Pennsylvania, and just to bring some information to people. And I think now that whether it's his arrogance or his plot or whatever, to keep us all on guard and just, be doing so much at once that there's an overwhelm. It just seems like the strategy to make us feel overwhelmed. And my belief is now even Republicans who voted for him are starting to turn the tide. And it just feels important in my mind to be able to talk to people and to have people understand what's going on. And that there are different organizations like Chop Wood, Carry Water, which is an organization where they tell you 5 things to do in a given day. It's like there are just different levels of commitment that one could do. And to me, the most important thing is to have enough votes, enough people who are protesting what's going on. And I don't think people know like enough of what's happening in the courts, that Mark Elias, who was the person who spearheaded the resistance, the legal resistance when Trump was going after the 2020 election. I mean, there were like 63 law cases, and only 2 or 3 or 1 or something were won by him. And Mark Elias was the person who was spearheading that. And I listened to him. He has a free newsletter. And there's a lot going on in the courts. People say, "Oh, the Supreme Court." It's like not every case gets to the Supreme Court. Most of them don't. And so there's a lot of, I get a lot of hope from him because of the work that's being done on a legal system. So my work, it seems like, is to talk to people, to call to action. And it seems like Congress is dragging their feet, and people, we're the ones that are going to make the difference. And, marching is great and doing all this stuff is great to keep our actions going. But I think that, telling the elected officials, like Congress people, are now not going to their home district to have meetings because, and that's actually what Indivisible was. One of the things that started with Indivisible, which was that they would 4 years ago, there were people who would picket every week different Congress people's offices until finally they would resign and not win. I just want to say that I'm sorry to take up all this time, but I want to just, if I can keep going, that Indivisible started doing the playbook that happened with Newt Gingrich in the 1990s, where the Tea Party was able to overturn Clinton's agenda because of this playbook. And so then the people from Indivisible devised the same political strategies to do when Trump got in. And there's been a lot of things that have happened because people like you and me are standing up for action. And I think that there's nothing to me more important than, at this point, this short window of opportunity, because the longer that he burrows his way into the very foundation of our country, the more difficult it will be to turn things around. So my hope is to inspire people to do some action, and even, 5 things from your home. Check out Chop Wood, Carry Water. Check out Mark Elias. Check out Indivisible. I mean, I can go on, but I'll stop.
No, so you know what? So, because the next section, the next section is about action. So let's do this since it's 7:30. I want to keep moving. Let me share. I'm just going to share this quickly so you can just see why people are here, feeling part of the community, making new friends. So everybody can see that right now. That's helpful for me. I really like to see that. So there's a lot of people that are interested in action and connection. And I want to do this one, and then we'll get on to the action. I wanted to do best meeting times just so I have this information. So here's okay, relaunch. Well, I don't know why I'm not okay, that's not launching. I don't know why. So that's weird. Okay.
Is it because you still have the other one up on the screen?
Is the other one up on the screen?
It's on my screen.
It is?
The hope to get out of meeting one, yeah.
Okay, that's weird because it's not on my screen. Hope to get out a meeting. Okay, okay, stop sharing. Yes, I think you're exactly right. Thank you for that. Yes. All right. So let's do the best meeting times and then we'll go into action. Does everyone know you can save your chat? So what I'm going to have us do is type stuff. First do this poll, then we'll type stuff in there and you can save the chat. So this is the last one. If you are interested in continuing on, Sue and I are feeling like we want to do it on a weeknight, but we did want to, okay, good. Whoa, okay, good. Look at that, Sue.
Is there something that's supposed to be shared? I mean, we're supposed to see something right now?
Yeah, did you see this one before? You didn't, right?
What
When's
does
the
it
best
say? What's the
availability?
question? No, I didn't see that one yet.
Saturday late morning, Sunday late morning, Sunday early evening, weeknight, 6 p.m.
I
Maybe you
didn't
could
see
just,
that either.
are you on a tablet or a phone?
Phone.
Does anybody know on a phone, do you have to click more or, because it seems like you should be able to do a poll.
Can you
I'm
read?
on a
Can you?
tablet.
Can I add to it, or does
Yeah,
it? Is it already?
just tell
Okay.
me, just so I'll put it in my brain. So Saturday
Okay.
late morning, Sunday late morning, Sunday early evening, weeknight, 6 p.m. So
Weeknight,
Lisa,
6 p.m.
okay, and Lisa, do you want to just tell me too?
Sure, weeknight.
Okay,
6 p.m.
good. We were hoping for that.
How about weekdays?
So,
Oh,
How about
now I see
weekdays
it.
at 3 o'clock?
I have a feeling I could do that, but I don't know.
We could do an East Coast group, maybe?
Yeah, if you want to do it separately, you could. Yeah. And I mean, the other option is also like a little earlier, like 5:30. I just got worried that the West Coast, that would be too early for the West Coast people. So that's my only thought, a half an hour earlier. So does everybody
And
know how to save? Oh, go ahead.
the only night I can't do is a Tuesday night, so I have a CGA thing then.
Yeah, that's why I changed it. It was on Tuesday night and I changed it to
Okay,
Thursday
thanks.
night. Yeah.
Perfect.
So there is an app called Goods. Do you know about it? Goods Unite Us. It's called Goods Unite Us. And what you can do, you can search on there for most companies, many, many, many companies. And when you search for it, it will tell you where their dollars are being donated
Mm.
and which way they lean. So, we've got Home Depot and Lowe's and all those things. And so like I'll show you Home Depot. At least they do. Well, let's look at Home Goods. So look, Home Goods. That kind of sucks because I like
Wow.
Home Goods. See, so it'll say 19% donation distribution, 19% Democrat, 81% Republican. So, and there's other information. So Goods Unite Us, really good. And the other one, Nikki, was Chop Wood, Carry Water. Chop Carry Water. What was it, Nikki? Chop Wood, Carry Water.
Yes, chop wood, carry water.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for coming. Chop Wood, Carry Water. Is that an app or what is that?
It's a website. It links you to 5 actions to take on a daily basis.
Can you put
Okay.
can you put the link in the chat?
Yeah, I'll make sure everything is in there. And then there's Indivisible, so you can join your local chapter of Indivisible. There's also something called 5 calls. This is
Right.
so easy, you guys.
Same
It's
thing.
5 calls. You put
Yeah.
your zip code in and it just spoon feeds you. Bleep. Do you support this? You click on it. Okay, make this call, make this call, make this call, call. Here's the numbers. Boom. 5 calls. Super
And
easy.
who are you calling? Who?
Senators, and my representative, my local representative.
Okay.
And it gives you the script. So it gives you your senators, you put in your zip code, it gives you your Congress people, and then it gives you the script for the item that you select, right, Jody?
Yes.
The
Yes,
topic.
it just spoon feeds you. Who else has who else? Sue, can you talk about the fourth turning, Sue? We were talking about being able to have kind of a bigger perspective, and Mimi, you read it too, huh? I already know about it. This, like, I like to have the perspective of being a soul in a human body. That helps me to see the big picture. This is another awesome way to have a big perspective. Go ahead, Sue.
So this book was the original book was written by two economists in the 1990s, and it was called The First Turning. And they went back and they saw that there was a pattern in the United States that lasted what they like to say the length of a good human life, which was 80 to 100 years. And we would go through four different turnings from, sort of an awakening time all the way to a crisis time. And it turns over every 20, 25 years, something like that. Not, it's not exact. So back in the 90s, when they had written the book, they talked about the founding of the country, our Revolutionary War, then the Civil War, then the World War. And then in the 90s, we were approaching the fourth turning. So each period is like war is followed by a period of calmness. So in reading it, it actually made me feel like this time is not unique in that sense. I mean, it's unique in a lot of other ways, but it's not unique in that sense. And so it's just historically based. So in the 90s, they didn't know exactly when this was going to hit. They have like a 5-year kind of error margin on it. And so they said this period that we're in actually started with the global crisis in 2008. And then, of course, was exacerbated by COVID. And so now we're in a period where it can be up to, 8 more years-ish that we're going to be struggling to find our way. So it's a good read if you want to just sort of understand the pattern of our country. And Mimi, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to it since you read the book.
You just put the link in, right?
Did not read the book. All I've seen is that link for a YouTube video that is about 10 minutes where a guy who read the book makes a graphic illustration for you and really helps you understand who the 4 generations are during each of the turnings. And that basically he goes with about 80-year cycles, and that what we're in right now is, American Revolution, Civil War, World War II. It's 80 years up. It's time for another blow up. And, a spirit head friend of mine that I was talking to today said, it's okay. We are in Pluto and Aquarius, and everything has to break down before it can be rebuilt. So she's really giving me like a little bit of hope and faith, and like the turning does, the fourth turning. I didn't read the whole book. I've looked at this video probably 10 times and shared it 10 times.
And what's actually enlightening about the book too is it talks about the generation that you were born in and how that really informs who you become. When it's called the silent generation, it was called that for a reason. And so it just sort of like when I read about my generation, I was like, oh, yep, that was me. And then I actually understand myself a little bit better, like how long it's taken me to be who I am just by situations that occurred in my generation. So I recommend everybody, you can listen to it on Spotify. The book's there on audio. And if you don't have patience to go through the history, because he can spin a little bit, if you go to the last chapter, you'll just kind of understand how he's thinking about this time.
I would love help I'm sorry. I would love help on how to capture the chat.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know what? I also, let's see. You can hold on, let's see, your computer. So There's a page on the bottom. When you
Yes.
can type in the chat, it looks like a page. There's different symbols down there. The one that says page and you hover over it, it says file. If you click on
Mm.
that, and then you can say your computer and it will save the chat for you.
Mm.
You could
Mm.
also just scroll up and highlight everything and copy it.
I don't know how to do
Where's
it.
Where's the
On my
page? I
thing,
don't see the
when
page.
when the meeting chat box is open, if you it titles what the meeting is, and then just go over to the three dots where it says more, and tap on that, and it just says save chat.
Can't we save that for everybody, Jode, and send it an email or something? Just to
Yes.
make it easy for people?
Yes. Can you remind me when we're all done?
Sure.
Yeah, I can email it to you.
Yeah.
I need help with the email, I'm afraid.
Okay. Who said
The
that?
only thing I see in the
Paige
chat
did.
is to turn off notifications in the top little three dots.
You're on a phone, huh? I just
Yeah,
wonder if
okay, is it
it's
the
different.
phone? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'll save it and get it to you for sure.
I appreciate
Anybody?
it.
Sure. So Paige, did you get my email address?
Yes.
Okay, good. Keep
I'll
that
send that to
and also
yes.
send me a message.
You
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else? You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Anybody else want to share an action or a desire for an action? How about a desire for an action? We can, as far as I'm concerned, what do you think about, because Nikki was talking about urgency, maybe we should meet in a week and not wait 2 weeks. It feels like every week is like a shitstorm, and it seems like, it's like dog years, isn't it? It's like 6 weeks has felt like 10 years. Okay. Yeah. D. Now it's D, but is that your first name, D?
Yes, I had the wrong name there.
Okay. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I put in the chat, and people want to go back to it, but many people know of local organizations of OLOC, Lesbians Organizing for Change. And every 2 years they call it a gathering. It's a national gathering, and it's going to be in Columbus, Ohio. And that organization, in my opinion, needs a lot of radical voices. And that's why I belong to it. I just think it's a great organization, but there needs to be just a lot more voices in there, particularly you folks who are in that 55 category to be part of it. So I'd urge you to think about joining or at least going to the conference.
Thank you. And you posted that in the chat.
I did.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And Susan, please. Susan is a wealth of information.
So things that you can do and we can all do in our communities, and one of them is the Indivisible group. So find out from your local Indivisible group where rallies are, because visibility is absolutely critical. And while we're out there, we can hold our pride flags. All right. So, and whatever your sign might be, hands off my Social Security, whatever your issue is, right? So go to rallies. They're everywhere. The second part is getting a hold of your legislators. Now, even if you have Democrat legislators like Adam Schiff and Alex Padilla, our senators, call them up. Let them know your issue. Because the staffers, and I know this because I've worked in this field for a very long time, the staffers have a tally sheet. So if whatever the issue is, LGBTQ rights, climate, whatever your issue is, call them up, because that also helps them gauge in the directions that they're going in. It's important for us to call them, really important. The third prong of this is through legislation and legal issues. If you have money to donate to any of the gay legal groups, that would be good, because they're fighting on our behalf. And I know most of us here probably did this most of our lives already. and we thought we were safe, but we're no longer safe. And so we have to have people looking out after our rights. But these are things that you can do at home, right? These are things that you can do wherever you are. And this is beautiful, Jody. Look, you've brought people from all over here. This is really beautiful what you're doing. And so it really is important to engage and to call your legislators. It's really easy. And if you're a little bit nervous, just write down what you want to say. And it can be as simple as this. Hi, my name is Susan Meyer. My zip code is, because I'm going to let them know if I'm a constituent. I'm going to let them know when I call Alex Padilla and Senator Adam Schiff. I'm going to let them know I'm a Californian. Okay, I'm their constituent, right? And then when I call my local Congress member, again, whether it's Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. There's a staffer there taking a tally. And so if it's Republican and you're a constituent, that's good, because they need to hear from all of us. Yeah. They really do. And so go ahead and call them. Just write yourself a little script. It's really easy. Hi, my name is Susan Meyer. My zip code is this, or I'm a constituent, or I live in California or Florida or Las Vegas, Nevada, wherever. And my issue is climate or LGBTQ or whatever your issue is. Now, you could have several issues. Make several phone calls. And also don't just do it once, because it's important to flood these phone lines.
Yeah.
So the only way we can make movement is through our legislators.
That's so true.
And the Republicans are getting an earful right now. They're so frightened to have a town hall meeting. Can you imagine an elected legislator too afraid to have a town hall meeting to talk to their community, to talk to their people about the things that are important to them, right? Because they don't know how to answer Susan Meyer when they look at them in their eyes and I say, how about my Social Security? Right.
Well, Susan, when it's outside of their talking points, they don't know what the fuck to say.
No, they don't. So they have basically been ordered to shut down, don't do any more town hall meetings. Yeah. Your Democrats should be doing town hall meetings. You probably already have been to one if you're engaged with them, if you follow them on their website. My congressman did it from Washington, D.C. by telephone. I thought it was brilliant. He needed to get a hold of us. He's a progressive Democrat. He needed to tell us what he's doing. Tell us what the Democrats were doing. I really did appreciate that phone call, but this does take engagement. And then also, we can look at our own communities, which is a topic of another time, but look at things that we can do in our own communities, because we're from a lot of different communities here. Right? So we could do things like engage in letter writing campaign. And we could actually, if you wanted to do an action at the end of every meeting, Jody, I do this at my meetings. I do one action, right? And it's either, if it's a daytime meeting, we make a phone call. And if it's a nighttime meeting, we write a letter. It's a simple thing to do. You get it done 1, 2, 3, 5 minutes. Everybody takes 5 minutes. And then you go home. You feel like you've engaged, right? That's all.
Yeah. maybe we can all add the 5 calls app to our phones. And do it. Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much.
Jody?
Susan.
One more
Yes,
thing,
yes.
and I don't know how to raise my hand. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than just speaking up. So
can you get in your camera? So no, the other way. Yeah.
Wait.
And you got your just try to block the light behind you, and that would be even better. So move the phone over just a little, and your head's blocking the light perfectly. Just move the camera. There you go. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
perfect.
Okay. one of the things I noticed today for a new way to reach out was my next door has a progressive group that I've belonged to for years, and they are starting to do community.
Uh-oh. Sue, did you just mute? Did you mute Lisa? Lisa, you're muted. Hold on. I was just looking to mute people too, but we muted her.
Unmute.
Sorry, Lisa.
That's
So
okay.
next door has meetings.
So yeah, well, it's not so much meetings, but there's definitely doing some organization. So it's called Orange County Progressives, and the next door, 'cause I live in Orange County, California, obviously, and they have set up every Sunday. They're going to Irvine City Hall, and they're meeting there. It's the group that's sponsoring this is called 5051. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's the district or what.
5051, at least it's not 5150.
Ah, yeah, I thought of that when I read it too.
I know. I'm like, what'd you just say?
So anyway, the point being is if you utilize Nextdoor, try to join or look and see if there are any progressive groups in your area in Orange County. Like I said, it's called Orange County Progressives. And they are, starting up groups and telling people, what things they can do and what issues are going on and et cetera, et cetera. And in this case, like I said, it says every Sunday. Their first one appears to be, they've had two before, and the next one is going to be March 16th to meet right in front of Irvine City Hall. So, that was a new one to me.
Great idea. Great idea.
Other than, yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about what they're doing to protect themselves and to stay sane. I really want to contact Nikki. I think she's doing a lot of boots on the ground kind of thing that needs to be done. Of course, we need to stay sane, because if we don't, we're no good to anybody. At the same time, if we do stay sane, if we're able to do that, then we need to put things in motion. And I agree with her. Things are happening very fast. And I hate to be the conspiracy theorist and that kind of thing, but they do this analogy to Hitler and how quick things transpired. And I don't think we want to see the same thing. And I keep moving myself, I'm sorry. So we do have to stay abreast of what's going on, and I think we have to do some pretty quick communication and activities, and we're going to have to stay on it. I don't think this is something we can ignore. If you're familiar with the Project 2025 or you've glanced through it, there's a lot of things they want to do that I don't think we want to have happen. So with that, I'll be quiet.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Good to hear from you. Susan.
I was just going to say that I'm in a group in Daytona, and my sister actually started it, and we've got about 12 women right now. It's called Civil Civics Conversations, and we're meeting once a month. We might move to every 2 weeks, and we have the goal is even numbers of conservatives and liberals. So there's very, very tight rules as far as how we communicate, and each person, there's a topic, and each person speaks for a couple minutes, and then there's a time when we can ask questions of that person, and it's all done in a civil fashion. This is the goal. But right now we have too many liberals because it's my sister's group. So I'm recruiting, I'm going door to door recruiting Republicans and conservatives, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying meeting my neighbors. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So kind of like what Susan was saying, you know, we can do these things in our community sometimes, like this kind of little thing.
Susan, when you go door to door, what are you asking them? What's your goal?
Oh, I have a flyer that says Civil Civics Conversations, and I invite them to this get together, which is refreshments at the home of a woman that lives near me, and we've got 12 of us, and I explain that we're trying to get more Republicans, we're trying to find more conservatives, so that we have a balance, and so I mean it's a little different than when I was going for Kamala, you know, door to door for Kamala. I'm getting a totally different reaction. The same neighbors, some of the same neighbors, but they're like, oh, okay, you might be nice after all, actually.
You know, that being said, I think it's very important to learn how to have conversations with people that have differing beliefs. I am not an expert by any means, but I do have a couple certificates in mediation, and I study conflict resolution. And I've also listened to some really great videos that are really hitting this subject exactly. Because I take the attitude, for the most part, I won't say exclusively, but for the most part, I take the attitude that people don't have bad intentions. You know, I studied nonviolent communication, and it's like how you approach that is that it's people's strategies to get their needs met is where the conflict happens. It's not the needs part. I think everyone has the same needs for safety, security, peace, acknowledgement, appreciation, love. Everybody has the same human needs, but the way we go about them is different. And I really honestly feel that most Republicans, it's a little bit more in the realm of naivety and kind of being a little bit of a sucker kind of thing. I posted a video about it's a stupidity video that I watched yesterday or today, and I'll get to you one sec, Nikki, and I'll get to you.
Okay.
Really talks about so many people have given up their critical thinking. When you give up your critical thinking, that's what makes you a subject to be manipulated. And it's really interesting. And so I like to look at things not from an evil, bad person perspective. I think most people, they're good people. They just have given up their critical thinking, and they have succumbed to it's because it doesn't make any other sense, you guys. How can all these Congress people be saying the things that they're saying? I mean, it doesn't make any sense that they actually really, that there's much behind that besides some thing that's come over people. So I did post the video. I am going to send out the chat. It's an interesting thing to listen to, but I think we could get some training, even if we watched a video together and then had a conversation about how we can talk to people with differing beliefs, you know, because if we come at them with any type of attack, better than I'm smart, you know what you're talking about, that's just silly. It's not going to work. You know, we really have to hear like tell me more. That's so interesting. Why you feel that way? Oh, that's interesting. Where did you read that from? What's your source of information? And really try to get them down to like the core. Yeah, Sue. Oh, sorry. Well, Nikki and Sue, whoever.
I'm just going to say quickly, I'm doing this with my brother. He's in Ohio. He's a Trumpster. I've been so sad that I've lost my relationship with him. And so we started texting, and I just ask questions, and I try to not put any inflammatory language. So what do you think about this? Can you explain it to me? And he digs in, and I ask him another question. I say, well, I think of it like this. And then we get to a point where I say, well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree. and then we move on. But I keep asking him questions throughout the day, and it's actually just been enlightening to me, because in the bigger picture, as we all know, Democrats and Republicans, it has to change what's happening. We just have different ways that we want to make these changes. So it's been really healing. So if you have anybody in your family that you can, do this with, and texting was kind of nice because it just takes the tonality out, and we're just able to be more civil with each other.
I think that can have pluses and minuses. Nikki, what were you going to say?
Well, when I was in Pennsylvania, I was canvassing for a couple of weeks. I had this made-up strategy that I did. I went into Staples. I was canvassing with Seed the Vote, and it was very, I've canvassed a lot, and you just spend a lot of time and get a lot of people who aren't home. And then I just decided somehow to do something different. And I went into Staples and I grabbed something off the shelf, and I stood online as if I was going to pay. And then I turned to the person behind me and I said, "Excuse me, I have a question for you. Can you tell me are you planning to vote in the election?" And then depending on what they said, I had my own little script that I made up. If they said yes, I'd say, "I'm voting for Kamala. Are we on the same team?" And if they said yes, I would say, "Have you registered?" If it was before time to register, I would just do my whole speech with them. If they said no, and they said they're voting for Trump, you mentioned a spiritual practice. I felt like this was a deep spiritual practice. I was actually quite curious because I live in the Bay Area, and frankly, off the book, it was like, how the fuck can you be voting for this guy? But I didn't quite say it that way. But I said, I am curious, and I left, and I did this for 3 weeks, and I had one difficult conversation. People were really respectful when I was respectful. Some of the things that I heard and how I was able to share different information. I probably changed 50 or 70 people's votes. That was quite amazing. And so I just want to concur what's been said about how to make alliances with people and not make other people wrong. And for me, it was a great test of my own patience and my own curiosity. It just sort of helped me in terms of being spacious with people to allow another point of view without, and the feedback I got from people was, "How could you do that?" I'd be screaming at them, "How could you do that?" And it's like, just what Jody's saying. It's like, I don't see how that's going to work to alienate people. I think that we're called upon at this time to come together, and I feel like we're the ones who can really make that difference, because what my experience was that there was a lot of ignorance and a lot of misinformation, and that I took to be different than people being stupid or being,
Yes.
It's sort of like they just didn't have the right information, and then they got curious when I gave them information. Sometimes I would show them YouTubes of Trump himself, and they would see that like that I wasn't selling anything. It was like it was something that they didn't have that information, and once they saw that information, it wasn't about me selling them something. It was about them being enlightened to something that they didn't know. So
no,
that's pretty profound for me.
That's fantastic. Thank you. I'm being asked to wrap it up. What I would like to do is there a poll that's up right now? Because is there something? Stop sharing. Okay. There is, how would we like to proceed? Being in touch is kind of challenging. I have the meetup group, so members of the meetup group can see when there's an online event or things are posted, but a lot of people are part of other groups, so I'll keep posting that. But we could have, I hate to have to use Meta. Jeez, there really isn't anything as good as a Facebook group. I hate that there isn't anything else. If somebody knows something as good as a Facebook group, let me know. Because I think a Facebook group is the best way to do it. There's WhatsApp. Sue's saying Signal is like WhatsApp, but it's not owned by Meta. Have a buddy or a small group. And how often? So there is 2 questions. I kind of feel like we should do it weekly just to get started, to get our, because 2 weeks, I feel like so much can happen in 2 weeks' time in dog years. It's dog
Yeah.
years, remember?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just need to like powwow and take all the information we've had tonight, and then maybe you would do a poll to see what night during the week works best. And yeah, I agree. We need to keep momentum going.
I really think we do. And do you think it's okay if we just do a Facebook group? I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I don't want to like cut off our nose to spite our face, or however you say that, because I think not having one is going to not support what we're doing right now.
Well,
And
can you
maybe,
just tell me what makes Facebook so unique? Because the queer group, and we had a large discussion here in Northern California that I'm on, and about Meta and WhatsApp, and switching to Signal is actually a radical act. So since Signal is like WhatsApp, what makes Facebook group so much better than WhatsApp, for example? I mean, because I'm not finding that with this group that we have here. We switched from WhatsApp. We're able to post things, just like the chat we
Yeah.
have from Palm Spring Weekend. And we're off
yeah,
these corporate, like we gotta go with our word, like what we're trying to
Yeah.
do.
I guess, yeah. The last trip that I did, we opened a Facebook group, but everybody just kept using the WhatsApp group. So, but that does mean everybody putting a new app on there, getting new notifications for it.
Well, but this is what it's going to take. Sorry, but this is what it's going to take from us to get out of our comfort zone. And you know what I mean? Like we're asking people to get out of their comfort zone. They're asking us, like we're asking everybody to get out of their comfort zone. I didn't know it either, and I had to learn it. It's not that hard, really. Why don't you and I play around with it, and
All
then
right.
you can
Okay.
explain it to everybody.
Because WhatsApp is free, so we're not giving money for it. We're not paying for it. So that's one thing. Anybody
Signal,
else
we're
have,
not paying for.
say it again?
Signal, we don't pay anything
No,
for.
I'm just saying we're not giving money. Does anybody else have a thought about that? How should we stay connected? I can send everybody, I can send everybody an email because you had to register. And I'm doing that. I'm having everybody register so that, we don't have Zoom bombers, because we had Zoom bombers. We had some disgusting Zoom bombers during quarantine, let me tell you. Oh, some really rotten stuff. So we didn't have any problems
Hillary?
tonight, which is good. What's that?
I tend to like the Facebook because I've already got so many Unconscious Girlfriends, and through so many women, I've already got so many Facebook friends that
Yeah.
are connected, and introducing a new WhatsApp thing or that other thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we could get more people through Facebook. I could reach out to my Facebook friends and invite them to this.
Yeah, because I mean, how I promoted this was on Facebook, and then I can take that and share it all over the place. So that being said, can everybody please like share this with people you know? If you have a Facebook, like share the next event post. I'll make the next event and the next date, and I'll put the link in the email I'm going to send. But if you can share that on Facebook, it really helps. Just post it, share it, do whatever it is you can do. Just tell your friends to come, because this is what we need to do right now.
And next week it'll be an hour earlier, so that'll be good because of the time change.
Okay, there you go.
So we'll
So
get some
I think
of us out here.
I think if let's just plan Thursdays at 6. If you have suggestions, I'll write this in the email. If you have suggestions on what you'd like to see happen, I can see role playing some conversations. And Nikki, you'd be a great person to do that with. I would like to do it also, role play. I think that would be a great way to demonstrate good ways to have conversations. We could watch a little video on that. And let's learn how to be excellent citizens in the world and move into the world with open hearts and love, because it's a little conflicting, the anger thing, because I don't want to say don't be angry. It's infuriating, but for me and my beliefs, I don't want to house anger in my body. I've already had cancer. I don't want to hold anger in my body. I feel like it's destructive to hold anger in my body. I much prefer to be the rebel and to be joyful and to stay motivated and to not let the bastards get us. You know, it's like so, and not that we have so much conscious control over, if you're angry, just don't be angry. But let out the anger, punch your pillows or scream in your car or process your anger, but that we keep coming back to love. That's what I invite you to do. But we all have our own ways. So anybody else want to say anything? I really appreciate you taking the time. Kara, hi there. I don't know you. I just see you. You're kind of a little person in the back of your square. So hi, and hi just to people, new people that are here, like Rasa, I don't know you, so I'm so glad you showed up. And I know most everybody else. Good to see Margaret in Montana. And it's really nice to see so many people showing up. And oh, Abby, did you have a hand raised? Oh yeah, Abby, I didn't see it. It's blending to your background.
Yeah. I was wondering, I know Meetup is somewhat problematic. If whether that was why you don't want to just keep using Meetup for this kind of thing.
I do want to post on Meetup. I will keep posting on Meetup. I have to do this whole row of cross-posting groups. It's kind of a pain. It's okay, I'll do it because I have my system on how to do it. But I was talking about a way for us to stay connected with each other in this group because Meetup doesn't give us a way to send out a message and have everybody. And a lot of people don't get their Meetup emails because if you're part of a lot of groups, you have tons of messages. Lots of people don't see it. So it's in addition to that, but I will keep posting it on Meetup. Yeah, it'll be a regular thing that hopefully people will just see it all the time and they'll finally, take a look at it.
Okay.
Mimi, you look like you have something to say. Do you have something to say, Mimi?
Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm doing other
Great.
work while we're still here, and I'm trying to, hey, happy to be here. Thank you, Jody and Sue. This was
Thank you,
really
everyone.
fun.
Thank you.
Oh, there's Shelby jumping on. Hi, Shelby. Liz, I hope you come to Circles. It's coming up. And thank you all. And Jennifer, you too. Thanks for showing up, really, really from the bottom of my heart. And Sue, thank you. It's so much better to do it with you. We can bounce
Thank
things
you.
around and do it together. Any input you have, ideas you have, if you have something you'd like to see us do next week that you think is worthwhile, a way to spend some of this time, please, please, please send me a message. I would like to know. I want this to be a group effort, okay? I really do. So thank you. Thank you. And be well.
Thank you so
Let that
much.
anger pass through you. Do not hold it in your body. Get it out. It felt really good to vent. Did you guys actually vent in the groups? Did you vent? Did you guys take an opportunity to just did you, Sue? Okay. Did you do it? Okay. Good. It felt so good. I was like crying when I was done. So, thank you. Thank you all. And I hope that we'll see you next week, okay?
Thank you,
Thank
Jody.
you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you.